Good afternoon, students. Today, before starting the lecture, we'll just have a quick recall. In the last lecture, what we have done, we have started with the chapter 1, that is an introduction of corporate finance, and we have also studied the importance of the corporate finance, like helps in the decision making, helps in the research and development, helps in the smooth running of the business firm, brings coordination between the various activities, promote expansion and diversification, managing risk, replace old assets, payment of dividend and interest, payment of tax and fees. These are the things which we have learned in the last lecture. So today we are continuing again with the chapter number 1. So let us see in the next slide. Yeah. Today we are going to learn about the capital requirement and its meaning. We are also going to learn in detail about the fixed capital, its meaning and factors affecting fixed capital requirement. As we all know, we cannot start our business without any finance or capital. So in depth we are going to learn about the capital requirement and fixed capital and its factors affecting the fixed capital. Capital requirement. We'll start with an example. As blood flow is important for our body, similarly, capital requirement is also important for all types of business. So, let us see the meaning in short. When a business entrepreneur conceives an idea of setting up a business enterprises, the commercial variability of the idea is investigated. Once the person is satisfied with the feasibility of the project or business, serious steps are to be started for the project. The very first step is to take the decision of a capital requirement to start and run the business. Therefore, the financial planning should be drafted keeping in the mind present and the future requirement of the business. So let us see the meaning of the fixed. Fixed means in simple terms which cannot be changed. The thing which cannot be changed in any form. Likewise, there is in two examples given over here. Fixed rate of interest. If you are taking any sort of loan from the bank or financial institutions, the interest rate will be fixed. It cannot be changed by anybody, but yeah, it is changed by the bank or the financial institution according to the market condition, but otherwise the rate of interest should be fixed. Second example is the temporary workers were worked under the contract for a fixed period of time. Now you must have seen nowadays it is a trend that many of the employees are working on the contract basis. That particular contract is fixed for a certain period of time. The next word is the capital. Let us see the simple term meaning of the capital, that is also known as the wealth or money or other asset owned by the person or organization. So this is the simple meaning of the capital. Now let us see the meaning of the fixed capital. Now we have seen the meaning of fixed. We have also seen the meaning of capital. Now let us see the meaning of fixed capital. The capital which is invested in fixed asset and not meant for resale it. Means it is used for buying fixed asset which are used for longer period of time in a business. Examples: purchasing of land and building, furniture, plant and machinery, and many such things which are fixed in a company, in a business for a longer period of time. Fixed capital is required at the time of establishment of new business or for the expansion and development or replacement of equipment. That is, they want to upgrade the new technology in the company. Initially, planning of the fixed capital requirement is made by the company's promoters. Firstly, they need to prepare a list of fixed assets which is needed by the company, and what will be the cost of the asset, it should be estimated. Then they should collect the information regarding the price of the land, price of the machinery, cost of construction of building, and many more things. That means cost of fixed capital is calculated as a total cost of fixed asset required in the business. Nowadays we need more fixed capital because of new modern industrial process required new automatic machineries. Suppose we'll take one example over here. Suppose you want to start up with a small business, and you will take or ask capital initially from your family or friends, or you will take a bank loan. Similarly, if the company entrepreneur wants to start a huge large scale business for a longer period of time, he will collect capital through shares, debentures, bonds, or long term loans. Let us move further and learn about the factors affecting the fixed capital requirement. The very first factor is the nature of business. It means what type of business you want to start. If a manufacturing business you want to start, you need huge capital for acquiring fixed asset. Example, production business. Next is the trading business. You may not need much investment in the fixed asset. Example, buying and selling business. In this, you don't have to purchase any sort of machineries, plants, land. You just need to buy the products from one company and sell it in the market. That is known as the trading business, where you require minimum capital. You don't need any of the fixed capital. In the other hand, if you want to start a manufacturing business, you require a huge capital. That huge capital is required for the fixed asset, as we have seen the examples of the fixed assets, that is a land and building, machinery, plants. So for that we require a huge capital. Second factor is the size of the business. When we want to start with a large scale business, it requires high fixed capital, as it requires a long process of production, which are also based on automatic machines and equipments. So again, it depends on the size of the business, which size of the business you want to start. Next is the scope of the business. If a business firm carry on production or distribution on large scale, it would need more amount of fixed capital. Now obviously, if you're having a large scale business, the scope of the business will be also high. So same way, the distribution, the production, everything will be in the large scale, and it is the responsibility of the businessman that he needs to have a more and more fixed capital. Fourth is the extent of lease or rent. Lease or rent means a contract between two parties for the possession of land, building, machineries for a certain period of time. Example, most of the people staying on the rented house, it is on contract basis and temporary. Same way, a businessman can also take the machineries, land, plants, etc. on rental basis, so that he will require less fixed capital. So it is also one way of getting the on the lease basis. You can also borrow the plant and machinery from your friends or from any of the person who is having that machinery and he did not know how to use it. The land which is kept like that only, we cannot do any agriculture in that land. You can use that land, you can buy that land on the rental basis. Next is the arrangement of the subcontract. It means that some of the process of production should be given to others on contract, which will reduce the requirement of the fixed capital. Now we'll take your example example of the contract. Likewise, you can give a contract of packaging and distribution of goods to somebody else. Like one more example we'll take, company producing sauce or jam. They will have subcontract with the farmers who have the agriculture of tomatoes and fruits. Here, company will not do agriculture work. They will have a contract with the farmers. So this will reduce some of the fixed capital. Here they do not have to purchase the land for the farming. They do not have to do the agriculture work. They will directly have the contract with the farmers, and they will buy the goods, raw material from the farmers, and they will just produce the jams and sauce in their production industries. Next is the acquisition of assets and concessional rates. Now this is very important, that particular seeing the view of the industrial growth and development, government may provide land and building material at the concessional rate, or it may be possible on the installment basis. So this may also reduce the requirement of the fixed asset. We'll take one example over here. Nowadays the government has so many plans for development of our country. PM Modi also said that you become Atmanirbhar, so that government has released lots of funds for those people who want to start their own small scale business. He wants that the particular people, those who have their knowledge, they should use their knowledge for our development of the country. So he is also saying again and again that become Atmanirbhar, self dependence. We should not depend on other countries for the products of for the different products. So we should have our self confidence that we can also make such products in our country. Next is the acquisition of old asset. If a company buy old asset, which will also reduce the fixed asset. Now you must have seen, like second hand books are sold in the market, second hand clothes are sold, even the mobile phones are sold in the market. So this will reduce the sum of the cost of fixed capital of the company. So this is also one way to acquire the old assets. So the company can purchase the old machineries from the market, and they can reduce the fixed asset of their company. Next is the international conditions. It is required for large scale organizations carrying business on international level. Now there are so many manufacturers, producers, they are doing goods, they are selling, they are having their business up till the international level. Now we'll take one example over here. Companies expecting war may decide to invest large fund to expand fixed asset before there is a shortage of material. Compared with today's scenario about all the business of imports and export. Now you must be seeing in the market, in the news, what's going on. The import export business has been reduced. We are only importing and exporting the basic necessities of a human being. That likewise, masks, sanitizers, medicines, these things are only exported and imported from one country to another. So there is a huge impact in the import and export business. Next is the trend in economics. This depends when the company is doing good in present, can go far for expansion of business firm. Therefore, large amount of funds are invested in fixed asset to get benefits in future. Many times we don't get instant result. We need to wait for a longer period of time. It's not like that in the large scale business. We have invested our money today and will get the instant return, instant profit. It takes some times for the development in the market. Next is the population trend. When the population is increasing at a high rate, many businessmen, manufacturers will get an opportunity to expand their business. This is the time where they can expand their business. Likewise, there will be an increase in the demand. Obviously, if there is an increase in the demand, they also need to supply that much quantity to the public in the market. We will take one example over here. Electronic goods demands has been increased. There is an increase in the demand of the ready-made garments, automobile industries. Nowadays, what has happened? Each family member is having their own vehicle, own mobile phone. They are having own style of living. So automatically when the population has increased, the demand and supply of the product should also be increased on the other hand. So always the businessman has to be updated with all such goods, all such demands. Next is the consumer's preference. Nowadays, industries are providing goods and services which are in good demand, which requires large amount of fixed capital. Here we will take one example of the Jio mobile phone. What the Jio mobile phone is doing? They are doing the manufacturing of the handset, and along with that they are providing the services to the handset by providing the network, by providing their own network. So here they are seeing the preference of the consumer. If the consumer has purchased the product, how will he use the product? So what he have decided? They have decided that they will provide the product also in the market, and along with the product they will also provide the services to the consumer. So here they are having the two-way profit. Last but not the least, that is an competitive factor. Now it is a prime element in decision making regarding fixed capital requirement. Whenever we are doing any sort of business in the market, there are so many competitors in the market. We have to run our business along with that competitive market. Now once the businessman has shifted their business to automobile, the another will immediately follow to that person, and with this the competition will increase in the market. So quickly we will have one recapture what we have studied today. We have studied the very important thing, that is in capital requirement. To start any of the business we required a huge capital. We have also studied about the fixed capital. We have also seen the meaning of the fixed, meaning of the capital, meaning of the fixed capital. And last but not the least, we have studied the 12 different factors affecting the fixed capital requirement with an examples. The very first factor is the nature of the business, size of the business, scope of the business, extent of lease or rent. Next is the arrangement of subcontract, acquisition of old asset, acquisition of asset and concessional rate, international conditions, trend in economy, population trend, consumers preference, and last but not the least, that is an competitive factor. So we have studied 12 different factors of the fixed capital requirement. This is the assignment for the day. What is the fixed capital? Explain term fixed capital. State any 4 factors affecting fixed capital requirement. You can write with the examples. Justify the statement. There are 2 statements. There are various factors affecting requirement of the fixed capital. Second is the fixed capital stay in the business almost permanently. So these are the few questions which is related to the today's topic. So you all can write down all the question answers in your SP book.